Hello, everybody. This is Goldfinger from the Goldfinger Minute. And I am in my studio, but looking like I'm on Rizal. Let's move over this way a little. Let's get in front of that camera. Okay. I move this over. All right, guys. So, let me move a little over more. Move my camera a little over. There we go. So there's a slight delay. I'm on. I've got 4 viewers now. Hello, everybody. I was watching a good movie. The green screen is up. I'm on the. What are you talking about? I'm sitting here on Rizal, looking at the ocean. Well, I was getting tired of the drapes, actually. A little tired of the drapes. Thank you. Sounds good. All right. Appreciate it. Life is good. I love life in the Philippines. It's enjoyable. I was watching a good movie. I had to give it up. I'll have to watch it after I finish streaming. It was the Peacemaker. Great old movie with having to do with nuclear bombs in Russia. Anyway, I'll watch it later. Hello, Filipino Joe. I've got Connie Shea. Hey, you finally caught a live in Florida. That's good. Danilo. Hello. P-Town is up. Okay. How's the sound? How's the picture? Everything should be good. As you see, I've got a background now of the ocean here in Dumaguete on Rizal Boulevard. Thank you for smashing the like button, Alvin. Bruce. So, yeah, we're going to have different scenes now with Paul. I'm getting a little tired of my room looking like a black egg crate on its side. So we're going to try different scenes. In fact, I could switch scenes anytime, so it's kind of cool. So I got to take some pictures. I'm going to make some signs, hang some signs, and make a living room scene. It runs for hours. Well, Bruce, because if I said the Goldfinger Hour, nobody would come on and watch, to be perfectly honest. So I call it the Goldfinger Minute. That way people just think it's a few minutes long. Everything looks good. Thank you, Gary. Good evening, Mike. Hello, Life in the Philippines traveler. Yes, the Philippines is having its presidential and government election today. There's been a few problems in Manila. We're going to talk about the elections here. It's not very good here. They go to the province. My understanding from Carolyn, my fiance, is they go to the province and they pay people for who they want to elect. So all my workers went home, and they all went back home out of Dumaguete to the province because they don't do it in the big cities, but they'll go to the individual homes in the province and pay them 1,000 pesos or more, sometimes 2,000 or 3,000, and to elect for a specific official. So there's a lot of graft involved. And, of course, there's no proof that they're going to vote for that person, so they get money from both sides. So it's like Christmas here in the Philippines. Everybody goes home to wait for the knock on the door where people offer political people will come by and offer money, pay money. But that's what happens here in the Philippines. Looks good. Thank you, Steve. So nobody worked today. Today is actually Monday. Nobody worked at my place. They all went home to get graft for the elections. Even Carolyn was considering it. I said, but it'll cost you 500 pesos to go home. She'll see her family. But they'll pay her 2,000 or 3,000 to vote, even though she's not even a registered voter. They don't care. They don't check. I don't know. Talk about corruption. It's pretty bad in the Philippines, unfortunately. So that's what happens. That's what happens in third world countries. So I was it was kind of like a Sunday because everything was real quiet here. Everybody went home to the province, all the workers and everything. A lot of places were closed, so it was a very quiet Monday for us. Of course, now it's over, election's over, so everybody will be taking buses back to work or back to the cities. Well, it's just Philippines is still backwards in a lot of ways. You could probably pay off people to have things dropped, charges against you, things like that. And it was that way in the U.S. too. 50 years ago, 75 years ago, that was the same thing. So it's just, that's when you walk back step in time, you're going to get the same thing as you have in the U.S. Supply. He'll be on the Goldfinger Minute as long as I supply the beer. Well, I'll give him a beer if he wants to come on. I haven't met him. I know he's been in Dumaguete a couple times, Alexander. We're talking about Scotty Boy. If he wants to come on, that'd be cool. We could talk. We could chat. I was a little bit rough on him when he first started because he was only coming here to fool around with girls, and that was how his channel got started. But I totally get it. I mean, maybe I was the same way, so it's kind of like pot calling the kettle black. Now he's more about viewing different cities, provinces, traveling. So his channel's matured quite a bit. So it's not the same. Yeah, Steve White goes, yeah. My girl tried to explain that voting in the money. I didn't get it. Well, yeah, they come knocking on the province doors and they'll pay you money to vote a certain way. They don't check to see if you can vote. They don't check to make sure you do vote. A lot of people just stay home because they might miss the next guy who comes to the window to vote for the other guy. So it's all about the money, but they don't actually vote. I see my channel's having some problems. So I don't know if you guys if it's freezing on you or not. On my end, it's freezing. Might be internet problems. So Filipino first experience here. No alcohol. Yeah, they don't do sell out. Not much traffic in town. Of course, the mall's always busy. Yeah. Hello, ones and zeros. Okay, so Kia has a question. Goldfinger, can I ask you what you take from Thailand to the Philippines? And do you think the Filipinos are more friendlier than the Thais? Well, of course, English is easier here. There's not much English in Thailand. The food is better in Thailand. The infrastructure is better. The roads are better. They have lights. They have better quality food. It's more modern. But when we're talking about the people, they were friendly. They were very friendly. The people are very friendly, but they're in a hurry. They're busy I was in Bangkok mostly, so they're always in a hurry and a little bit busy. They're not as friendly, I'm going to say, as the Philippines because they're in a hurry. They're sometimes a little more curt, especially when you're trying to get a taxi and they try to cover their meter so they could charge you more money. They wouldn't do that here. Greetings from Roy. I'm not sure what Roy ET means, but that's anyway. Looks fine here, the video. That's good. Thank you, David. You think it should be daytime with pretty girls in bikinis? Well, if I had pretty girls in bikinis, just try to make 3K subs. We could change things. Hold on a second. Let's see what I can do. But no bikinis with girls. Let me see what I have here. Let's see. Let's try. Let's see. How's this? Okay, how's this now? We're gonna try this now. It's gonna change in a moment. Let's see. It's starring. Did it say staring? Well, let's fix that while I'm at it. I don't think you can edit. Yeah, it's staring. Okay, let's starring. It's fixed. It'll take a moment. All right. Again, it seems to be slow on the internet. Happy to see you. A better backdrop. Yes, Rodney. We finally got some green screen. It should be changing. I don't know. I thought it changed. Um, I haven't been to Vietnam. That's one place I'm going to be going to next year. I have to leave here. That'll be my 3 years, and I have to leave for a couple days. So I'm planning on going to Vietnam next year in January. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Mark. You enjoyed the video that I showed on the house, inside and out. It gives us a better idea of what's going on in your life. Congratulations on all you've done. Yeah, it was quite a job. Anyways, it still seems to be loading. This means a problem. Well, I didn't want to do motion, Bruce, with on the green screen because I thought it would take away from the podcast. But water is never that calm. I get it. Well, that's true. I could have a video with the water moving. That would be nice. Thank you very much, Alvin. Bud Brown interview was great. Yes, it was. I like Bud Brown. He's a really down-to-earth guy. Him and Gloria. Very, very, very nice people. And I'll have him be coming back about once a month and get an update on how's it's going with his coming back here. You're welcome, ones and zeros, for the house. House was nice. I see it didn't change. Let me see if I could change my scene. It didn't change, and I don't know why. Let's figure that out. Let me go back here. Hold on just a second, guys. Interesting. Let's see. That's close. Goldfinger camera. This is open. It should have changed and it didn't. I don't know why. Let's see if I can get this back down. It looks like it's stuck. I don't know if I'm moving, talking. From Bangkok. Really enjoyed the house tour. Thank you. There we go. There's the new background. Philip says there were street mutts always barking, chasing my chickens. I asked him to keep them away. He laughed like it was a joke. I'm not sure what we're talking about, Philip, but I guess you're talking about dogs. Dogs roam here. Yes. Dogs roam. There's quite a few loose dogs here. You don't see that in Thailand at all. See, Gary says it changed on his end, really. Yes. So sometimes there's delays. Sorry about that. If Scotty would like to come on, sure, I'd love to interview him. He's an interesting guy, very active. He's kind of took off where Rick A basically is not as active, and he's gone to a lot of places. I've watched some of his videos because I think it's called Moabwe. I don't know how to spell it or say it, but it looked like a nice place to live. I was very interested in that at one point. Well, for me, Steve, leasing, he's asked, is a better idea for lease for 15 years versus buying? Well, I didn't really expect them to sign a 15-year lease, and they did for this house we're talking about. I had talked to them about 5 years, and then I said 10, and when we got down to it and I gave them the paperwork, it was 15, which they signed. I don't know if I'm going to be alive at 50 years, but buying a house, you can't actually, as a foreigner, buy a house here. You could buy the structure, but not the land. So the land has to be in your wife's name, or if she's Filipina, or your spouse's name, as long as you're a citizen. Or you could do a lease back for 50 years. They used to do 100, now they're doing 50, my understanding. But you can't really own, as a foreigner, land here, just the building that sits on top of it. So it wasn't really an option. I didn't really want to get into the legal, complicated part of buying. First off, this place fit what I needed perfectly, and it wasn't for sale. It wasn't offered for sale. It was offered for lease. And I decided that if I leased it long term, it'll work because Carolyn runs her business from here. We have enough bedrooms. I could have a podcast room, which actually was an afterthought, only because Paul couldn't build one in his house yet, maybe next year. but because this house took a delay to build it, and he wanted to do a podcast, and he brought it to my attention. He says, maybe you'd want to do one with me. I says, well, since you're not building and I have a house with an extra room, let's just do it at my place. I didn't realize it was going to cost so much to do it and be so much work. I didn't realize that 2 cameras, 2 microphones was going to need, was like 10 times more complicated than a single camera and a single microphone. And it was. Gary says he has dogs. He pets them. Anyway, so I decided to lease it long term versus purchasing it. Didn't really, because you have to look at it this way. If it doesn't work out for me in the lease, it doesn't work out, I can give a 30-day notice, okay, and I can basically be out of the lease. I also could sublet. So I have sublet rights and lease rights. So it was kind of like everything was in my favor to go ahead and long-term lease. Carolyn says she doesn't plan on living here if I'm not around. In other words, if I pass on, she doesn't want to be here. It's too big of a house. And it is a big house. It's a big piece of property. So I told her, well, she can go ahead and work with one of the other foreigners that are here, and she can talk to them about running the business, selling the business, selling it to someone who would want to run the business. She would get, she could lease the house probably for more money than what she's paying, because it's in her name too. And then she could also get the money back on the motorbikes and get some operating money because it's a going business. It's almost a year old now. I started about a year ago, and it produces pretty good money, about 125,000 pesos a month, which would pretty much cover everything to live here, including food, overhead, utilities, everything. It's just under 120,000 to live here if you include everything. Electricity is high. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 air conditioners. We don't run them all at the same time, but we do have, and 2 of them are 2.5 horsepower each. I usually only run one of the 2.5 horsepower. It was an overkill. I usually just run one, and then when we're cleaning the filter, I'll switch off month to month to the other one. And but we didn't really need 2.5 horsepower. It probably would have been a 2.5 and a 1 would have been fine. But I ended up buying 2 of the same. My fiance's dad kept telling me that I need to buy land and build a house, and I finally just got tired of hearing it and told him that it will never happen. Good. You shouldn't. You shouldn't do it. Don't let people talk you into what you don't want to do, Mike. I don't think it's a good idea. I understand why Paul's doing it. He's doing it for baby May, but I'm not sure if baby May's going to want to live by herself in a house I think it's in, I don't think it's in Darwin. I think it's in between the Dumaguete and Darwin is, my mind just went blank, something with the letter B. All I could think is Bangus Fish. I don't know why. Bakong. I think it's in Bakong, the property, but I could be wrong. It could be Darwin. He took me there once. So, I don't think she's going to want to go back to the province, but she could always sell it. She'll get money out of it. I'm sure it's gone up in value since he's had it, so it's not a bad investment. It's just a pain in the butt, in my opinion. I don't know if he'd do it again or not. His intentions were great. Unfortunately, he had a bad contractor, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. He didn't lose as much as some others, so that's good. Well, here's the problem, Philip. Okay, we're going to go back. Philip was saying that about the dogs. We're a guest in the Philippines, and we're reminded of it all the time. Your neighbor wants to report you to the barangay captain, which they can do. Nothing much will happen of it, but you have to remember that we really have to not change anything in the Philippines. We have to go with the flow here. They're very strong about, they'll take a Filipino's opinion, weigh 10 times, it weights 10 times more than a foreigner. And I was put in my place at the Bureau of Immigration when I went to go get a visa. I wanted a receipt. I was paying them money, but they're not giving me a receipt. And because I didn't have change, they said that's fine. Just pay, round it up to 1,000, and we'll give you change back when you come back in a week. Well, I said, okay. Well, do I get a receipt for the money I'm giving you? No. I go, well, I want a receipt. Why don't I have a receipt? I mean, it's just I started having my Americanism moment in the barangay, not the barangay, but the Bureau of Immigration. And then she calls over Peter after I said, I want a receipt. Can you just write me a receipt? No. I said, why can't I have a receipt? So she didn't argue with me. She just got up, went to the back, and got the person in charge, which is Peter, of the Bureau of Immigration here in Dumaguete. He comes out and he hands me my passport and he says, no problem, just go to Cebu. I said, what? He says, if you don't want to do it our way, you could go ahead and you could file in Cebu. We're not going to let you file here. So I had to eat my words and apologize and said, I'm sorry, I just thought a receipt was normal. I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't shout. I didn't curse or shout. I says, it's fine. I says, I didn't know how you guys would know that I paid extra money that you're going to refund. He says, we know. Okay, that's fine. So I had to eat my words and put my tail between my legs. Otherwise, I'd have to do it online, which last time I tried to go online and renew my visa, it didn't work. Or I'd have to go to Cebu. And that was his attitude, do it my way, do it our way, or go to Cebu. So we are reminded a lot of times that we're a guest and they're not going to listen to what we think should be or what's right. And that's just the way it is here. So even I have, sometimes it takes a lot of patience here. You wait in long lines and they're slow and people, are in the wrong line. It says seniors only, and you get young guys in line, but you can't say anything to them. Good morning, Richard from Illinois. It's not. No, they're not corrupt bullies. They're not corrupt bullies. It really isn't. It's just, I would think if I was in America, and I was in a position the same as Peter was and I had a Chinese or a Korean person giving me a hard time, I would probably be the same way, okay? I would probably say to them, hey, if you don't like it our way, go somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with that. I totally understand it because they have a way of doing things here, and they don't expect you to force them to change the way they do things. So the thing is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's basically what it is. So when you come here, you don't try to change the Filipino way. It's slow, it's steady, sometimes backwards. A lot of times makes no common sense. But you got to take the good with the bad. And the good is that they're very nice people. They speak English. The prices are cheap. It's cheap living. And you can retire here and be much better off than if you were in the U.S. Now, Ones and Zeros asked me, why did I move away from Mexico? That's a story we'll go into in a minute, Ones and Zeros. That's kind of a long story. Mike Wilbur, hello there. Hey, when you coming back? Bruce Senadar, it is not a hard time to expect your change or receipt for the money that you gave them. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. It's not a hard time. But again, you just have to go with the flow. You're here in the Philippines. They have a slow way of doing things. They have a set way, and they don't want to be pushed into a different way. It's slow and steady. It's a very simple life here. You're right, Gary. So that's interesting. The guy becoming Filipino YouTuber voted for the first time because he's a citizen now and thought that was interesting. All right. Mike's back in November. Okay, I'll see you then. That's not that far away. So we'll go into why I moved from Mexico. That's a good one. So I really liked Mexico, and Mexico was as cheap, if not cheaper, than the Philippines. I was in the state of Oaxaca. I had gone directly from Mexico City to the city Oaxaca in Oaxaca State, which is obviously the capital. Very interesting. I really had a good time there. I stayed at a bed and breakfast place. It was a lot of old world churches. It's very interesting, but they don't speak a whole lot of English, and I had to start learning Spanish quick. Then I watched another YouTuber. I'm not going to remember the name, but he was in Puerto Escondido. Dan. Dan and his Malaysian wife. Somebody will remind me again. I always forget the name of his. Very nice guy. Super nice guy. I met him. So I ended up going to Puerto Escondido, and he was there. And it was funny because I had breakfast and checked in, and I didn't know where he was staying. And I ended up checking in at also named Dan's hacienda of some sort in Puerto Escondido, which was a very big complex with a big pool and a restaurant. And when I'm going down to have breakfast and I just checked in, who comes walking down to go to breakfast was Dan and his Malaysian wife. Very nice couple. And we had breakfast. And in any case, so that's why I went to Puerto Escondido. And I stayed there for 2 years. Just about 2 years. And I really enjoyed it. I did. But I met... I met a mother and daughter working at a restaurant, and the mother and daughter, the daughter had a little trouble speaking English, and she wanted to learn, and she was very nice. Said she was like 22. She was very sweet, and the mother was very nice. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll teach you English if you teach me Spanish. And so a relationship started, and I asked, is it okay? I asked the mother, is it okay if she comes over and teaches me, every day, and I'll pay her because I needed more. They got fired from their restaurant job. The restaurant changed owners, so she said she's available, and I said okay. Anyway, so she was coming over and teaching me, and she brought me a dog, a puppy, which was nice because my friend had passed away in Mexico. He had cancer, and he had come down with me, and he passed away. So she brought somebody to keep me company, which was nice. And I kind of dated the mother, kind of like I had her for breakfast or we went out for dinner, but she didn't seem like she was interested in me. But the grandmother was. And the grandmother was more my age. She was 49 going on 50, and I was in my early 60s at the time. So what is this, about 4 years ago? Little over. So I was in my 62, 63. Anyway, so the grandmother started getting, we started going on trips together, and we had a relationship, and she was really sweet. But there were times when I saw that she wasn't very nice to her granddaughter. They had fallings out multiple times. So we'll get to that in a minute, Philip. So I was kind of like, I wanted to kind of cool it with her a little bit because I didn't like the way she would act. She would flip flop on her granddaughter a lot, and the granddaughter would come to me and said she wants to move away. Can she live with me? I said, no, you're too young to be living with me. It won't look right, especially in Mexico. It wouldn't look right at all. And she told me that the grandmother told her that she has to be very friendly with me because I'm paying for everything and they don't want to lose me. That's when I realized that what's going on with the family. The mother, the grandmother, and another sister, a granddaughter, I think her name was Marlon. Marlon's sister, Marlon said to me, I'm being told that I have to be happy with whatever you want, I have to do. And I took that as being a little too personal, like the whatever. And she was getting a little fresh, and I said, no, that's not going to work out. Okay, that's not what I'm here for. And then I said to him, I'm going to be leaving soon. Then she didn't want me to leave. And so she asked to sleep over one night because she had a falling out with her grandmother, and I let her sleep in the other bedroom. But then she came into my bedroom, and that got a little too personal, okay? And I says, no, that's not going to happen. We're not having that. And so I decided, I found out when I went to I took them to Mexico City like a week or two later, took her back to go see the grandmother's grandson. and who was living in Mexico City. And that's when the grandson told me that Marlon's being looked for, that the father's looking for Marlon, and he's part of the mafia in Mexico. Actually, he's head of the mafia. And I'm going, okay, what am I getting into here? I'm getting a little worried. And they were very concerned because I was videotaping and I was going to put up on Facebook. And they said, do not videotape Marlon. You can't put her up there because they're looking for her and we're keeping her away. Then I found out through the brother that Marlon was not 22. She was 17. And at that point, I'm going, I need to get out of Mexico. I just decided I have to leave. So I quick booked a flight and fled. I didn't want to get involved with the whole arrangement. The mother, the grandmother, the Marlon, and her father that's looking for her. And I decided, I'm out of here. So that's what happened. Okay, so it was quite a scene in Mexico. They were very upset with me. I had to block everybody, but they were kind of in effect using me to pay for things. So I was taking them out to nice vacation locations, restaurants, stuff like that, because it's very cheap in Mexico. And I was like the big spender, and their love for me, the grandmother's love for me was superficial, and she was pushing the daughter to make sure to keep me happy. And I'm going, no, it's not going to happen. Let's see. Let's go back. No, I didn't change my name from Gringo. So my name was Goldfinger there too. Steve says, it was an advantage for me to spend time in the Philippines in the Air Force. Must be hard for people coming over not knowing that they're getting into. Well, if you're talking about in the Philippines, if you're in the service, if you're in the service, an American, the doors open more for you here. They do like American servicemen. But they don't really check. I mean, you could say I was in the service. I don't lie to them, but I've never been in the service. Let's see. Hello, Goldfinger. Good afternoon from England. All right. I'm reaching a lot of people. Philip says, I don't fear death itself. I fear the slow erosion. I don't mind it. I don't mind aging. Everything I have until I follow memories. I have to keep. Let's see. So Phillips is going, oh my God, I'm way behind. One day, clothing in the earth won't even sign. Well, yeah, I mean, we'd all disappear. 50 years from now, nobody's going to remember me or care. So, one day it doesn't matter. Bruce says, surprise, surprise, somebody was using the white man as an ATM. Well, no, it was my first time. I was very naive. I didn't really know that they would do something like that. I heard that they did it in the Philippines, but I didn't know they would do it in Mexico too. But yeah, they do it in Mexico too. Let's see, Philip. Too many. You're overtaking the chats here. We think we leave legacy, and then when our bones turn to dust, and remember stories we told. I enjoy my time here. I enjoy every moment. Life is interesting. I like traveling. My total wish was to come to the Philippines. In fact, I had tickets to come to the Philippines just before COVID struck. In 2018 and 19, I was watching Paul. I was one of his first subs before he even hit 1,000. Probably around 800, 900. I subscribed to Paul Old Dog, and I was watching Rick Kay mostly. And I had planned on coming here, and I had tickets to come here in March of 2020, and they closed the Philippines down 3 to 5 days before my plane was to take off. I lost that money, so that kind of sucked. Anyway, so then I had to wait, and they said, oh, we'll lower the curve. Well, the curve from 2 months went to 6 months, went to too long, and so I went to Mexico waiting for the Philippines to open. And finally, when I saw it was starting to open, I went to Thailand for 6 months. They were doing quarantines here first, at quite a bit. They were doing 2-week quarantines here, and then a couple years ago, they finally lifted it, and I came here about 27 months ago. I came here. Anyway, I always wanted to come to the Philippines, and I met someone so wonderful. I don't really know. Carolyn is, she's not, she really doesn't want anything. She doesn't expect anything. She's very gracious, very thankful for everything. I haven't seen her ever want money or do anything for money. She just wants truth and honesty, and I can appreciate that. And she's very down to earth, and we're enjoying each other's company. Now, again, she's half my age, so that was a little hard to get used to because, I was brought up that you meet someone and they should be within at least 5 years, maybe 10 max difference, but usually 5 years less than you. So it's a little weird. I was married before. That didn't work out. Actually, I don't think she's gained that much weight, Philip. But it's Carolyn with a YN at the end, anyway. But she's she's happy. Maybe she just feels comfortable. I got in trouble on policy. Yeah, I did get in trouble in Thailand. Trouble seems to be my middle name. I was I had COVID-19, or so they told me I did. I don't really know. I had a really bad flu, running a high temperature, and they put me in a hospital, and they said that the hospital was free. It's no charge. Long story short, when it got to the end of about 10 days, and it was a really dirty hospital, and it must have been free because the food was unedible. I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't eat the food. I was having people sneak in from the outside to sneak in McDonald's or Burger King, but only like once every 2 or 3 days, and that's the only food I could eat. And the thing with it was a very dirty hospital. Nobody was cleaning the floors. Nobody was cleaning the windows. They wouldn't change the sheets. You want to change the sheets, you have to change the sheets yourself. Let's see. I saw at nighttime, I would see a rat. I would see cockroaches. The bathrooms were disgusting. Nobody was ever cleaning the bathrooms. They didn't have people cleaning. And I figured it's free, and I figured, okay, fine. I didn't really have a whole lot of money. I couldn't get any money because I couldn't leave the hospital. We basically were, when you had COVID in Thailand, you were locked down. They closed the doors down. They lock you down. They didn't lock you to your beds, but they lock you down in this hospital, and it had a lot of security. They didn't want you going outside if you were sick or leaving. And then at the end, they wanted me to sign a blank piece of paper that said that I was going to pay a lot of money. I couldn't read any of it because it was in Thai. And the other problem was I saw 330,000 baht on it. I'm assuming that's what they wanted to charge me, which was about little over 10,000 US dollars at the time. It was 30 to 1. And I'm going, wait a minute, you told me. And I had asked them when I got in, is there a charge for this hospital? And they said, no, there's no charge. Several of the nurses told me it was no charge. The doctor says there's no charge. So I was kind of shocked that they were going to charge me $10,000 and they wanted me to pay it, and they were going to keep my passport. So I made a break for it, and they called the cops and tried to stop me. And it's too late for a long story short, but I got out of there. I left. They made me sign some papers that I had no idea what they said. All I saw was 330,000. They had a picture of me, and they said that I'm going to be responsible for the money before I leave the country. I just felt it was wrong what they were doing. They were railroading me to force me to pay, and they're using the cops and none of the other people. All the other people that were there were Thais. There was no Americans there. It was just I never saw another American. All Thai men or women. And they said they don't pay, and so they wanted me to pay. Okay, well, I didn't feel it was fair, especially after they told me I wouldn't have to pay, and so I just refused to sign. And so when I signed it, I didn't use my name when I signed it. So I just made up a name and signed it. And they can't read English, so what's the difference? And then I left immediately. Boy, it seems to be a repeat of Mexico, now that I think about it. Philip, I'm not going there. Futures are up. That's good. Hello, Harley. So I guess when things get bad, I disappear, huh? That's just maybe that's my way. I don't know. I just thought of that. Hi from Oz. I don't know how to say your name, so because I hear a lot of expats are leaving Philippines. Is it true? Uh, I haven't heard that. A lot of expats leaving. I haven't heard that. Uh, the fiasco with the boxes. Sorry, with the three fiascos with the boxes. I don't know what you mean by the three fiascos, but I had 8 boxes. 9 technically. I had a double box with Paul, and I lost them all. I didn't expect to be coming back. Actually, it was another 2 years before I came back. So those boxes wouldn't have meant anything. I don't remember what I had in them. I shipped them here, but I didn't make it. They made it. I've been to the Philippines 4 times for a month at a time, mostly in Argyle and Mobile. Swam with the whale sharks. Only issue I have there is getting around. They drive crazy. Well, yes, Cass, they do drive a little bit crazy here. That's why almost every accident I've had is because someone else has hit me from the back. Pretty much everyone has hit me in the back. They make U-turns in the middle of the street. They go too fast. They drive on the wrong side of the road. There's not a whole lot of rules. I don't know how it is in Cebu or Manila, but I try to stay under 40 kilometers now because it's always going to be the other guy that gets you. And when I rent out bikes and guys get into an accident, it's usually not their fault. It usually isn't. Okay, Bruce says no charge for this. Hello, how are you doing? Muttering. Do I have to deal with taxes or paperwork with a scooter business? Carolyn does. She takes care of it. It's her business. I'm not allowed to run a business. I'm a tourist. She pays in monthly a tax for scooter rentals. I don't really pay attention to what she pays. It's not much. It's very low. Thanks, Richard. I got a green screen. I might change it. I think I'm going to change it. I'm going to go dark now because it's getting late. Let's go back to going at nighttime. I'm going to go back to the ocean. Let's see. Let's go get rid of this one. And let's see what this one is. And we're going to go back to this ocean here. All right. So it'll change in a moment. The box is not 3 ops. The box is not 3 ops. No. Can I ask what part of California you are from? I lived in San Diego for 3 years before moving overseas. I was in Los Angeles, Tom, in the San Fernando Valley. Canoga Park, which then changed to West Hills. Somewhere in the 60s or 70s, they changed it, I think. Maybe 70s or 80s, maybe. I don't know. But they broke off a lot of Canoga Park, and they started to make it high rises and took away the farms and made the boulevard south of the boulevard of the Ventura. Freeway came in, and they changed it from Canoga Park to West Hills. I was there, and then I moved to Chatsworth, California. Already changed. Yeah, it changes right away for you guys. It doesn't change for me. That's kind of weird. See a lot of foreigners coming from the pier, mostly backpackers, probably heading to Sigior. Sigior has now become a big attraction to backpackers and a younger crowd. It's just I've heard from several people that have come from Sigior to spend time there. There's a lot of backpackers there, and it's now becoming kind of the place to go for younger groups that want to party, dance, and hang out. Let's see, they have low rate hotels like on the beaches and stuff. I forgot the name of it. You guys have to help me out. Where you get multiple beds in a room and share a bathroom right on the beach. I forgot what they call that. But so yeah, there's a lot more foreigner from all over the world starting to go there and just hang out. A lot of younger people. That's what's going on in Sigior. The driving is okay in Cebu. I've done it a couple of times. Yeah, I bet. Just have to get used to it, sort of go with the flow. I know, it's crowded, though. Cebu, I saw traffic. I took taxis in Cebu. It's a lot of traffic. They do not do daylight savings time here that I've ever. I don't remember them ever doing it here. No, they do not. Bruce says, yeah, no daylight savings time here. So I don't remember them ever doing that. No, a hostel. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, they're having a lot more hostels now in Sigior. Very cheap, inexpensive. There's a lot of digital nomads coming here. They've actually just passed a new visa for digital nomads here. That happened in Mexico a lot too. Mexico did that. Oh, let's see, that would be 3-4 years ago when I was there. 4 years ago in Mexico, there was a lot of hostels along the beaches, a lot of digital nomads working on a laptop and placing orders or advertising or selling. And they were having some problems with that too because there were areas near Puerto Escondido that was all hostels, all bars. Gets a little wild. They get a little crazy on the beaches. They get into fights. They like to surf, Thanks, Tom. It's a lot nicer to have a green screen. I can change my scenes now. Getting tired of the black curtain or the black egg crate soundproofing. Is there much swinging in the expat community there in Dumaguete? No, there's no swingers here that I know of. I mean, I'm not part of that crowd. If there are, I don't know of it, Philip. Looks like the screen is shrinking. Lots of areas showing on the sides. No, that's just my black drape. Actually, I could change it. I can make it full length, but I decided to leave a little black curtain on the edges. So Andrew says, born in East LA, don't claim it. Grew up on the Washington State, lived back in Cali when the Navy, lived all over the U.S. and South Texas now. Possible finish out my days overseas. Philippines. I like the Philippines. Philippines is inexpensive. If you're on a budget and you can't, I could not live in an apartment anymore in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas was cheaper than Los Angeles. California got the price of California went skyrocket. And so I kind of went to Mexico to get away from COVID and found it to be so much cheaper. And I thought, well, that's really nice. And I liked Mexico. And then I came here and it was even cheaper yet. So I can live very nicely here, much nicer than I could live in the States. Hello, Jerry. Okay. All right. Philip. Okay, you guys, Philip, you're going to have to keep it clean. You're going to be put on a timeout. How much does a live inmate cost there approximately? I was paying my house. She was a housekeeper. She was not really a live-in maid. She doesn't live here. She's just a housekeeper. She has her own place to live. She has children. I was paying her 400 pesos a day. It's approximately 56 pesos to the dollar, so that's under $8, say $7 a day to work here. And I raised her to 500 after a couple months because she was doing much more. She got into the grind. She knows what to do and everything. We've only had a couple 12-hour brownouts. Do you have a day trip location? A lot of people will go to they have water parks here, a couple of them. You can go to the water park. You can go up in the mountains and go to Forest Camp, which is cooler because it's up in Valencia. You go to the mall. I'm looking at buying a generator myself. I'm just not a person to go. I've gone to the mall a couple times. It's really a long 12-hour brownout, but yeah, you're gonna get it. Yeah, you say, Delo's going, what's your problem, Philip? All right, well, now you get your timeout. So we're going to put Philip on a timeout, guys. 30-minute timeout. That should cool his heels. Bye. Let's see. Goldfinger, 8:15 a.m. here on Lake Erie. Dan in Detroit. Hi, Dan. 56 degrees. Boy, we don't get that kind of coolness here. Here, Mike Schultz is in Bang Sarai in Thailand. Thailand's nice. I wouldn't mind going back to Thailand, but I kind of had to leave it early because I didn't pay my medical bill. I'll be honest. I was bad. I don't know if I should go back or not. They may have my name sitting there, and when I check it, I might be going to jail. So, because I kind of left there without paying a hospital bill, so I think I'll stay away from Thailand. Though I will miss it because they had great food and infrastructure, and it's a lot closer. So I guess I'll try Vietnam or I'll look to see if there's something else that I haven't been to. I don't know, but I don't think I should go to Thailand. Steve goes to the mall for the air conditioning, but the problem is everybody goes there. And okay, so I'm sorry, I was reading Hi from Queens. The electric carts are kind of like a golf cart, only they have windshield wipers, horns, blinkers, headlights, lights on top, lights on back, racks. So it's a glorified golf cart. It's able to go on the street. So, it has 3 speeds. It goes fast, goes pretty fast. Mark asks, do you ever use grok? I'm not sure what grok is. I pay monthly anyway. What is grok? You'll have to tell me, Mark, what that is. $8 a month. I don't know. So the mall I've gone to, Bruce says generator is a great idea for lights and computer and such, but for running a big generator, run the AC will put you in the poorhouse. AC generator. Well, actually, I found some generators that are not gasoline, diesel generators. There's a shop not too far, right near the Robinsons Mall, that sells diesel generators, and they're actually the same price, if not cheaper than gas. They're silent. They'll run all day long on diesel. They power a whole house. My whole house, I looked at the panel. We have a 60 amp breaker that runs the whole house. And I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 air conditioners, lights, refrigerator, washing machine. So I figured the 60 amps on 220 volts was a little over 13,000 watts if I had everything going, okay? I could only use, it's a 60 amp panel. That now in the States you have 200 amp panels, but of course they're on 110 or 120 volts. So I thought the 60 was a little bit on the low side, but that's what this house is. It's not my house. I didn't build it. So if I got a generator that was like, say, 8,500 or 9,500 continuous running watts, the cost of the generator to run it is 70,000 pesos, brand new. And then you still have to have somebody run the power to the panel with a heavy-duty wire, 220. I have a good spot for it, and they are very silent. The diesel generators are inside of a metal structure, and they have insulation on them, and you don't hear them as much. Even though diesel's louder, the units are actually quieter than a gas generator. And gas generators tend to overheat here, and you can only run them, say, 4 hours, 5 hours on a tank full, where a diesel generator can run 14 hours, quite over twice as much. So, hey, Mike, I got $4.99 from Fremont, California. I've been to Fremont. What is your plan in the event of severe medical? I do have a medical plan. We're going to go right into that in just a minute, Mike. It would be a good base camp to travel to. All Southeast Asia would go to the places I haven't been to yet. Cheaper to travel when you're there. Well, yeah, go to Thailand and Philippines. Thailand's wonderful. Thailand's got better infrastructure and better food. It's not going to be as cheap as Philippines, but many people watching and seeing you. Well, I understand that, Tom, but the thing is, Carolyn runs her business from here, Easy Rider Rentals. We're on the maps. We do have a yard dog. He's still a puppy. He's not. He alerts us if anybody's at the gate. What is an inverter generator, Bruce? I'm not sure. Not sure if you have that. I don't know if they have an inverter generator in diesel here. I've never heard of it. They do have inverters on the air conditioners, and you can get one or two. You can get an inverter on the inside unit and an inverter on the outside condenser unit, which I have. I never have a special topic, Eagle. Just hello, Johnny. I just go with the flow. if you need 5 amps. Yeah, what the guy said was you add up all the on the generators. What the guy at the store says is get all the wattages from all the bigger appliances, write them all down, and double it. And if you do that, you'll have enough power for your lights and everything else. So I had to get the power, I had to get the horsepower for, and the power wattage for my water pump, my 3 main air conditioners I use. There's one air conditioner we never use, and also from I even use the washing machine wattage and my refrigerator wattage. And you figure out everything, and you go double that, and it was 8,000 watts. And like I said, the whole house only runs on 13,000 maximum watts because that's the main. And we've never blown the main. We've never had the main pop. So the main 60 amp, it's 220 volts. My understanding is you take 60 times 220, and that's the total watts available. So it was around 13,000 watts or a little over for the main. And so if I get and if I add up all the main appliances and their wattages, it was just under 8,000 watts. It was just under 4,000 watts. So if I get an 8,000 watt generator, it should be able to handle it all. And they happen to have one for 9,500 watts, and it's 9,500 watts peak, 8,500 watts continuous, and it's 70,000 pesos for the unit delivered. Then you still have to get have an electrician to connect it, and you have a automatic switching device that you have to buy for it. I don't know how much the automatic switching device is. I haven't gone into that far. So anyway, nice. Your house is the property. Pavers are such a unique idea. Well, thank you, Tom. It was a lot of work for the pavers, a lot more money than I thought. I budgeted originally under 100,000 pesos for the pavers, and arranged. It ended up with labor, pavers, and the wall, and the sand, and the gravel, and the everything. 250,000 pesos for the paver, way more than I thought. I figured, well, I might be 150. It was 250,000 total. David, I'm sorry to hear about your Filipino cheating. Even the motorcycle and car I bought. Well, that's on you, David. All the scooters that Carolyn has, they're all in my name. I have title to the scooter. She runs the business. Her name is in the business license. Bruce, an inverter generator will allow the generator to run only as fast as needed to supply the power demand. Most generators run at 100% speed, even if no load, and use much more gas. Okay. Yeah, the diesel generator does power down automatically. So that was another advantage of the diesel. The guy told me that it won't be running 100% of the time like most gas generators will. So yeah, I didn't realize it was called an inverter. Okay, David, if you want to be run by a Filipino wife or girlfriend, that's up to you. That's not my style. I like to be head of the household, but that's, everybody's different. I have to go with the flow with everybody. Again, I forgot to tell everybody that, I guess you can see it. Mike sent me $4.99. Thank you very much, Mike. I don't know if I think I acknowledged it, but you asked me about medical. So the medical conditions, Mike, is that I have Michael Onstead from Pacific Cross, and I get the 1 million peso policy. The 1 million peso policies is 1 million pesos, and you could use that for a whole year. And then at the end of the year, when you renew, it's again goes back up to 1 million. This past year, I think I used, 17, 20, 25, between 25 and 28,000 pesos was the cost of my 3 medical events that I had, various events that I had last year. And my policy is now due. The policy costs me 58,000 pesos. Okay, so that's $1,000. So basically $90, roughly $90 a month. Just under $90 a month USD. And for the million pesos, you can have almost any kind of surgery done. Most of my things were minor, but you could have a heart bypass, and that's 600,000 pesos. So So I go with that policy. I kind of believe in health insurance because I don't really want to put out huge amounts of money. It also covers cataracts, and I'm at that age where it could happen. I know Paul said he paid about $75,000 for each eye for cataracts, and it covers all of the surgery for the cataract, but it doesn't cover the actual lens. So you have to pay for the lens. The lens has choices. You have 3 or 4 choices of lenses when you have cataracts, and of course the Bausch and Lomb is the most expensive, and the lens might cost me $25,000. So of the 75, they'll pay $50,000 for each eye. So that was a concern of mine because I am getting up there where you do start having cataracts or other medical problems as you get older. Okay, so let's go on. A 5,000 watt 60 hertz diesel generator can run ACs and spend about $10 on diesel for 6 hours. Now that's cheap. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I think David is the same person you put on timeout. Let's see. David, you're starting to get people David, that just say, I have accepted my position as a weak beta. David, move on. We're not talking about you. We're talking about here in the Philippines. If you have questions about Philippines, otherwise you're going to also be put on timeout. I have Pacific Cross in Thailand, 5 years now. Tom, tell me what you liked about Pacific Cross. Have you used them? I'd be more interested. I didn't know Pacific Cross was available in Thailand. I do know that they do cover me. Pacific Cross will cover me if I travel for the first 30 days out of the country, regardless of where I go, whether I go to the United States, Canada, Europe, Thailand, Vietnam, whatever. I'm covered, and I'm not only covered 100%. There's no deductible for 30 days if I travel. They'll also fly someone else over there to be with me, or they'll pay for a caretaker if I needed a caretaker. So I like that part too. So if I fly out of the country, it's still good. What is it? Paul? Okay, Dan. Paul is with me every Wednesday morning, which will be your Wednesday night. He comes here at 9 a.m. I wish I could get him here at 7, but I'll talk to him. I went from 10 to 9, thank God. He actually gets up early. I don't know why he doesn't come earlier. But he's coming at 9 a.m. this Wednesday, which will be your Wednesday, 9 p.m. in the East Coast. So just think 9 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's well worth it to get the million. Will it cover pre-existing? For the first year, it will not. They will reconsider it after first year if you've had no problems. So if you have pre-existing, they will not cover for the first year, any pre-existing. Stephen says it sounds better. Well, when you say he, was that Michael Onstead here? And I'm going to be 69 next month. So I don't know. I check with them. That's what I pay. Google preference. Bruce says inverter generator stays. I read that already. Okay, sorry. An inverter converts DC power to AC power. It's used in series with battery banks. Oh well, no, not going to have battery banks. I don't want to get into battery banks. I'll just run off the generator directly, Andrew. Batteries are always something that seem to always go bad. I don't trust batteries, especially wet cells. They don't. I don't know. They just don't. They haven't perfected batteries yet. They're going to come out with it eventually, but they haven't yet. Don't buy properties or generators. Just stay in hotels and go from. So there's something though to be said about that, David. So a lot of people say to me, "Isn't it cheaper to rent a house or apartment than it is to stay in a hotel?" Actually, it's cheaper to stay in a hotel. There are several hotels you can stay at, and if you rent by the month, they're going to be in the neighborhood of roughly, give or take, 100 pesos, right at 1,000 pesos a day, which is $18 a day. And that's actually, they pay for everything. So they're paying for your Wi-Fi, your electricity, your water, cleaning service, cleaning your sheets. And there's a couple of hotels that are really nice, like Charo's. If you get my ebook, I talk about several hotels that are really nice. South View Inn, Charo's, The Go Hotel is pretty inexpensive, but it's very small rooms. I think Charles is much better deal. Charles Dormitel, and it's in my ebook. So you can get those for roughly 1,000 pesos, $18 a day, and it's actually you're better off because there's a lot of expenses when you get into an apartment. Your electricity, depending if they use cheap air conditioners or they don't have air conditioners, and all hotels have backup generators. Almost every hotel has a backup generator, so you don't have a problem with power outages. They all have, and usually hotels are close to restaurants. They're always on a main street, so you could always get a pedicab if you don't have a scooter. So I had told Paul that when I first came over, it actually is cheaper for me to stay in a hotel than it is to stay in an apartment, and it was true for the first 6 months. But then when we expanded to have, we needed more room, we needed more bedrooms. I got Carolyn, her son's now with us, been staying with us, and then her business of renting bikes. We needed space for bikes, so we couldn't stay in an apartment any longer. Really about hotels for sex exploits. Yeah. Oh, that guy. Oh my God. He sent me the email, Anthony. Oh my God, that guy was crazy. Harley goes, "You go, David. Don't buy anything and don't settle for any women. A new hotel and a new woman every week." Okay, well, that gets old, dude. Sorry. Okay, you know what? Since David's leave, okay, David, I think you're doing too much here, or you're going off. You're going to be put on timeout. So David got himself timeout too. 30 minutes. Bye. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Hotel's not bad. Does Duma have a moose lodge? No. David was forced to take a chill pill, Paul. Yeah, you and I were both thinking the same thing, Harley. You were right. You foretold his future. Favorite restaurant in town? There's too many. I like Why Not for general food. I like Cafe Racer. I like Taverna, which is really right next to me. I could walk to Taverna. It's right down. It's like 200 yards away, Taverna. Really good food there. There's several, actually. There's a couple at the mall. The Rib Shack, very inexpensive, like ridiculous. And you get some good food for a couple hundred pesos. It's ridiculously cheap. They do now make inverter diesel generators. Be absolutely sure that you have an inverter-style generator for whatever you buy. Oh, yeah, this place specializes in generators, and I spent a couple days there and checked out everything, and he showed me how they're really nice. I mean, they have nice equipment at a very fair price. Do you know the bad granddad guy? He's actually been on my channel and talked a few times. I think they call him Bad Grandpa or something like that, or no, something Grandpa. Anyway, any bets on what name David Phil will come back as? You can't do that. Yeah, I suppose so. Rib Shack is awesome. Rib Shack's really cheap. It's in the mall. You got burger sheets. It gets a little crowded sometimes, but if you go there early, the only thing is they don't have Diet Coke or any diet sodas. They only have, in fact, I don't even think they have sodas. I'm not sure. They might have Coke, but they have a lot of sugar drinks. So I have to stop first and grab like a can of Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi or sugar-free root beer or something like that. Otherwise, it's just cold water there. But they do have free cold water that's hopefully filtered water. I don't know. But I've drank it, so I haven't gotten sick. So it must be okay water to drink. They don't call it filtered water here. They call it service water. And they have ice in it. And if they freeze the ice long enough, it'll kill the bacteria in the ice. They can actually use tap water and freeze it. It's the same as boiling it. If you boil water, it'll be, free of whatever it's going to ail you, the bacteria or whatever's in the water. The same thing as if they freeze it. So if they use ice cubes, I don't worry too much about ice cubes because people think, oh, maybe they use tap water for the ice cubes. Well, if it's frozen, it killed the bacteria, so that's not going to matter. In any case, the Rib Shack is downstairs. It's easy. It's kind of a long line. It's a little slow at getting service, but that's true of everybody and everything in the Philippines. But you can get ribs for 200 pesos. You can get a chicken, a quarter chicken for 200, for a couple under 200 unlimited rice. I mean, I'm not a big rice eater, but it's a good deal. Yeah, I miss Mexican food. Do we have good Mexican food in Dumaguete? You know, here's the thing. The Mexican food in the USA is not the same as the Mexican food in Mexico. So I grew up on on Las Vegas, Nevada, Mexican food. Roberto's Taco Shop, to name one, was one of my favorites. Obviously, Taco Bell, and what's the other one? Del Taco is not Mexican whatsoever. I'm not even sure if it's meat, to be honest with you. But I think it's a derivative of meat or a meat byproduct. But if you go to Mexico, Mexican food's way different tasting. Now, they have Mexican food here, and it's called Mexicanas, and there's also Sonoras, and there's also Los Burritos. They're Filipino / American Mexican food. So sometimes they're a little bit sweet, and Mexican food usually isn't sweet. Filipino Joe says Moon Cafe is good. Yes, they have Mexican food there. So I miss Roberto's Taco Shop. I miss that. I miss having a good Roberto. Mike says, yeah, he liked the ribs there too, like Wilbur. Melton Pot is great for sushi. Yes, Melton Pot's very good for sushi. They also have an all-you-can-eat upstairs in Robinson's. And it is Korean food, and they have those little hot platters in front of you, and you cook the meat yourself. That's pretty good too. You need to flush your system and cleanse your colon. Oh God! Now we have Dan. Okay, thank you, Dan, for telling us how we should flush our systems. That's one. You're going to get two more, and then you're also going to get a timeout. Do you need to purchase a fishing license in the Philippines? There's no such thing as a fishing license. Any more than there's a dog permit. There's no dog permits. There's the fishing pole or charters. He doesn't actually do fishing charters, but there are such a thing. Justin Critter Hunter. I used to call it Critter Republic. I think it's Critter Hunter. He's not on right now, but he does dives, charter dives. You can go on there on a dive and just do a snorkel and mask. You don't have to do any diving if you don't want to. Is La Mensa in Dumaguete? I'm not sure. Lloyd's. Hey, got Eugene. Going to be meeting him tomorrow. And don't forget the kimchi at the Rib Shack. Oh, yeah. Very good kimchi. You get the chicken and the kimchi. It's the Korean chicken. Very, very good. Hi, Eugene. We're going to be actually meeting tomorrow. Maybe I shouldn't tell everybody. We're meeting tomorrow at Traverna for lunch. So he's on. Hello there. The beans aren't that good at the Mexican places. Well, no, they don't. They're just beans. Filiberto's 2 miles away from here. Okay. Any good pizza? There is a really good pizza in Darwin. Don't ask me what the name of it is. It's a strange name, but I order from them all the time in Darwin, and they deliver. I don't know about Taco Bell. Taco Bell is not so good. See, I got messages here. Looks like we'll have somebody joining us for lunch tomorrow. So, Scatter Pizza. Scatter Pizza in Darwin for those that are local here. Excellent pizza, and they deliver. So, coconut water is good. I like coconut water. Thank you. There it is, right there. I didn't even read it, John. Scatter Pizza, yeah, in Darwin. They're one of the better pizzas, and they'll deliver. Okay, so Dan, you're so large is because your guts. Not even going to bother to read it. He's going on timeout. 30-minute timeout. Forget it. Goodbye. I don't need anybody to tell me how much I need to lose weight. I already know it. La Mensa is in Dumaguete by Piapi. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Is that in North? That might be in North Point. Landers and SM Mall has a great pizza if you ever get to Bacalog. Yeah, I haven't been to Bacalog yet. Hotel Dumaguete. I don't even know it. I'll have to find Laments. I'll have to find that out where that is, Mike. Hola from Mexico. It's boo-hoo. Boo-hoo-hoo. Do you think getting a burner phone and having viewers call in is possible? It would be something no one else is doing in Dumaguete. I've seen it on Florida retirement channels and people. You don't need a burner phone. I actually am videotaping on cell phones right now, and I could tie the cell phone if I had a SIM card in it. People could call in. The problem is you get Dans and other people that, talk about stuff I don't need to talk about, like bullshit. So that's the problem is you don't get to choose your, and the problem is it can cause troubles for me on YouTube because there's limits to what they allow you to talk about on YouTube. Oh, it's right down the street from Cafe Racer? Okay, I'll have to check that out. All right. Andrew Bartholomew says, well, we have David, Phil, and Dan next. Yeah. They're only out for 30 minutes. What time is it? We got to get off of this thing pretty soon. They'll be coming back as a different name. And so, there's some good restaurants. North Point's grown a lot in Dumaguete. It's at the north end. A lot of new restaurants. Byron's has barbecue ribs. It's very good. So there's... Old Dog is on Tuesday. Well, on my channel, he's here Wednesday. And he'll be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. And I know my Wednesday morning is your Wednesday night, so it'll be Wednesday, 9 p.m. Oh, God. Now it's Wang. Okay. Is Wang really a real name? Another person we have to put on block. I think we need to hurry and quit before David gets out of timeout. Yeah, exactly. If you disagree, look into it. I will leave you alone. I'd be lying if I told you that, and I don't lie. I'm not looking into it, Wing. Essentia Hotel is nice. It actually has if you stay there, you get a free breakfast. And actually, their breakfasts are not bad. It's a huge hotel. It has a lot of weddings, which is true, and other activities. I liked Essentia, and I've had several people stay there and said they're very nice. And their restaurant, actually, nobody ever goes to their restaurant, but their restaurant for dinner is excellent. So you should check out Essentia. It has excellent. Bruce says, when you do live on YouTube, you are responsible for all the you-know-what that happens on your channel. A streaker, for instance, could get you shut down. Don't let somebody cause you those problems. Well, that's the problem. I mean, I love to talk about medicine. I have to be very careful because I did have cancer in 2010, and it was a terminal cancer. I had pancreatic terminal cancer. I can only tell you that what happened for me. I can't tell you what you should do, and I can't even really talk too much about it, what I did, because somebody can say, hey, he's talking about how to cure cancer, and they make a complaint. So the problem with that is I'd love to tell you my story, but I'm not sure if we'd have a troll that could get me in trouble. And then I have to fight with YouTube, and I have to put in, under the description, I have to put in something that releases me of any responsibility, that I'm only talking about my own personal experience with it. So that's the problem with it. I can... Peter Wilson, yeah, I remember that. Don't tell me that name. No, it's Wang. Okay, you are Peter Wilson. Well, since you've said that, it's Wang. Okay, so we have a troll. Yay to the troll. So we're going to get rid of Wang. Bye, Wang. Yes, so see, Steve Montelli got permanent ban for medical discussions. So, yeah, I can't really even go into it. It's a shame. But everybody has, like good old Mark Thornton used to say, everybody has a story, and it's too bad you can't tell your stories anymore. YouTube makes the rules. I don't. So went to Racers, ordered a steak and appetizer, and the appetizers came out after the steak. Yeah, well, there's no sense in the Philippines. There's no common sense. They have a Mike. They have a great filet mignon there, bacon wrapped filet mignon. If you want the steak, I didn't think much of their ribeye. I've had better ribeye, but their filet mignon was excellent there, and their ribs are excellent there, Mike, at the Cafe Racer. Yeah, there's certain things you can't talk about. So medical is one of the things you cannot talk about. You also have to be careful about politics too. So it's too bad. You can ask for senior discounts. Some places, I don't know if Cafe Racer does that or not, but some places do offer senior discounts. Some of them require a senior discount card. Foreigners cannot get a senior discount card, only Filipinos. It's not the way it was 3 years ago. It's the way it is starting about a year and a half ago. They stopped issuing senior discount cards to foreigners. Some still will give you discounts if you're a senior, and you don't even have to show them your driver's license or anything. Some will not. Some will want the card itself, and like I said, foreigners can't get them anymore. Famous troll almost drove Sunshine Shoulders insane. Well, see, when you say things like that, you're going to get blocked. So now we have John Hill, who was originally, it's Wang, okay? That's a good way to get yourself blocked, so just keep on it, because even if a troll says they're a troll, I guess best thing to do is to hide them, so goodbye. Let me keep track of you, David, Phil, and Wing. And now you have John Hill. Yeah, I know John Kennedy, who lives here. He wants to know how you beat it, and I'd love to tell you, but I can only tell you if you email me or call me on the phone. I can't do it on this forum. They won't allow it. Hello, Steve. We got Brian in the house. Tom Tom's Coffee gives senior discounts to foreigners. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's right. They do. I have used, but now Tom Tom's is closed. So Tom Tom's Coffee closed up a couple weeks ago. They're moving down the street, and they're going to be in a multi-story building. But yeah, Tom Tom's. I've gotten discounts from Tom Tom's. I forgot all about that. Thanks, Brian. They have who has senior discounts at parking at Robinson's Mall? You mean for bikes? I know they have it for bikes. Yeah, I ride my bike there. The senior parking. It's always full because everybody else uses it. I know it'd be a great story. I can't talk about it. So it sucks. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry about that. I know. I see. The minute I brought it up, everyone wants to hear how I beat cancer, but I can't. Not allowed to. I'd have to make a full disclosure, and I'd have to set that up ahead of time. It would have to be a separate. I don't even know if I want to go there because they're so picky about it. And you get trolls, and then the trolls will say, "Hey, he's giving people, information on how to cure cancer." And if they see a video that's all about what I did to cure cancer, they may construe it as giving advice, and then boom, I have no channel. Yeah. You know what? Here's what I can say. Get the book. One of the things you can do is go to Amazon and get the book, The 1 Minute Cure. The 1 Minute Cure does talk about what you could do, and it does beat the big C. That was one of the things I did is get the book on The 1 Minute Cure. Sorry, I got a little bit thirsty. No, I don't have any problem with people, Paul, stealing motor scooters. They're all very respectful. If they have an accident with it, they tell me right away, and they ask me to go look at find out the cost, and they pay me the fees, and then it's up to me to get it repaired because they usually move on to another city or country. But everybody's been very nice about returning the bikes. I haven't had any problems. You could put an air, a tracking device on the bikes. You could. It's not cheap. You could do it. Um, ebook. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that because that's not what the ebook's about. The ebook's not about me, Mike. It's not about my life story other than things that I've done for the children out here. And sometimes I ask for, not right now. I don't have a project right now. I was going to do fans for the kids, but the ebook is for guys to come out and to what they need to do to prep to come out here, what they should bring with them. And it's more like 3 months before you come and 3 months after you're here. It's not for anybody that's been here a long time. It's for newbies, and it's not about that. So Bryant says, who said we don't need a senior discount reducing costs of the rich state of life? Well, we don't really need a discount. Yeah, green screen's up. Looks great. Good job. Okay, thank you, Dan. Peter Wilson. Now we got Peter Wilson. Ay. First we have people pretending to be Peter Wilson. Now we have a Peter Wilson. Boy, the trolls are out tonight. I'm telling you guys, the trolls are out tonight. Oh, my God. Give me a break. Why did you reject my invitation to come to meet? Okay, well, another one. God, the trolls are out tonight. Another one had to be put to sleep. Goodbye. That's for, is Eric keeping track? All rich people I know run around acting like they're broke. Good morning, Manny. Gotta love a troll. I don't know. Why do I attract so many? What was that, 4 tonight? I'm not putting. Remember the first time I went on live, I would just let the trolls talk. I was very soft and easy, and then I started putting one. I think it was a Michael, but I'm not sure. I put him on timeout. Anyway, yes, we are on a senior discount here already. If you go to Cafe Racer, they give you or Tom's Coffee Shop. It's not like it's a personal. It's a franchise. I don't mind asking for discount. It's not much. It's 10% usually. But if it's a small, really small shop, I don't ask for a discount. I'd rather just let them keep the money. So. The trolls. Yeah, really, subscribers only. Well, we might be doing that actually because I have a few people that have joined now, and they say if people have joined, you should do private videos for those subscribers, not just general subscribers, but they're like they joined the channel, so they want something special, which I need to go through the list and name them out, call them out. But let's see. Okay, so we have another one. Philip. Hey. Hello, Philip. How are you? And goodbye. So there's 5. We're up to 5. Any more people that want to be blocked? Ground Zero, sure, there are others. Very soon now, my friend Lowell's going to be coming back to the Philippines, and him and I walk on the boulevard around 5 a.m. We meet there between 5 and 5:30, and we walk, and we walk for an hour and a half or so, maybe 2, and then we'll walk over to one of the coffee hangouts. At that hour, almost the only one that's going to be open now is going to be McDonald's because Tom Tom's is closed and they're building a new building for them. And there's not too many that open until after 7, or maybe Ground Zero's open at 7 or 8. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it may be my connection, Brian. I've noticed that it's been circling over at my end. What do they call that? It's try Rumble better than YouTube. Well, yeah, but YouTube has a bigger audience around the world, as far as I know is concerned. And I'm Jewish. They pay me money. Not sure what provider this hotel uses. Yeah, I noticed that also. It's been having some problems. It's probably I may have to change the bit rate that it sends it out at. I have it at a high bit rate, so it's a better quality picture. But sometimes that slows things down. Might be overwhelming the internet. So for an hour or so, it makes it hard to come up with new name and troll. You can. All right, Bruce. North Point is growing. Is it a good area to live? Not necessarily, but it is growing as far as restaurants and stores in a mall. I couldn't tell you if it's a better area to live in. It's less expensive, maybe less crowded. So, but I'm not sure what the beaches are down that way. I don't think they have much great beaches that way. The beach areas, if you want to go to a beach area, Downwind or Bakong, Downwind especially. And if you want to have cooler area, you go up to Valencia. So, Mike Williams, yeah. The troll talking about prostate cancer or whatever. I've had 5 trolls on this so far, Brian. I'm telling you, going back, I even had, we had Philip Goldberg. We had Peter Wilson, the one that had supposedly sent me an email. We had John Hill. We had Wang. Wang was another one. It was started with a female picture, talking about ladyboys and stuff. We've had several this today. So, and David Russell. David Russell was one of the first. So we've had quite a few trolls today, Brian, or this evening. Don't know what the problem is. The funny part is you can put them on timeouts. You could also hide people, and they'll see their comments, but nobody else will. So they think they're talking shit, but nobody's reading it but them. So that's kind of even funnier. So you can do all kinds of things with YouTube. It's kind of fun. Anyway, so what do we have? We have 93 people viewing, 50 likes. Come on, guys. I need 100 likes. And I got a $4.99 revenue. That was from Mike. What was Mike's last name? I don't think Mike gave me his last name. It was just Mike R. But I'm not sure. I'd like to know where Mike is, where he's hearing us from. If you want to hear this, Mike. If you figure out how to become a member, I don't know how they come up with an account so fast to troll. You can actually create a email account with Google or Hotmail or any of them in minutes. And then you go on to YouTube and you use your new email address. And you can do it very quickly. So they could do it in less than 10 minutes, easy. And then they can go on to YouTube as a new chat with a new name. Magnus from Detroit, Michigan. Hello, Magnus. Is Casablanca open that early, 6 a.m.? I didn't know that. I'll have to stop by there. They have very good breakfasts there, Casablanca. Usually I'm not very hungry. Usually I'll just have coffee and maybe a couple scrambled eggs. I don't like eating early in the morning, so I'm trying to cut back. I've been trying to cut back to 1 meal a day, but it's actually ended up being 1 plus a day. It's almost 2 meals a day. Yeah, I just told all the potential trolls. Well, I think they already figured that out. They know how to do it by now. That's why they're trolls. They're good at doing that. Yeah, buffering, that's what it is. Yeah, I see my channel's been buffering a few times this evening. God, you get old, you get lost for words, brain farts, whatever the hell they're called. It really sucks. Okay, I got 57 likes. Come on, guys, give it a like. How to be a troll 101, yeah. That's the truth. I don't know why people enjoy being trolls. Never occurred to me to be that. Starts at 6 a.m. and usually ends about 9 p.m. 1 meal a day, huh? You just never stop, huh, Bruce? That's my problem. I have to watch it. Uh, Sundays is my cheat day. That was yesterday. And yesterday was pizza day, and I was very bad. So, uh, but there was lots of leftover pizza. So this morning, when I got really hungry, I just ate the tops off the pizza. I decided not going to eat the bread, just eat the tops off the pizza, which was fine. It's all protein, some vegetables, but mostly protein. Uh, so Cafe Racer and Moon Cafe offer discounts. Okay, cool. Thanks. That's Gary, actually. Hi, Gary. Uh, Trolls don't have a life. Well, maybe that's what it is. Uh, cheat from Sundays to Saturday. Yeah, that's all. Just an ongoing cheat. That's the problem I have. I got to lose some weight, guys. I noticed that when I did my recording, and of course it was pointed out to me by many people, that when I did my recording of the house and property, I was breathing hard. And I could hear myself breathing like, holy shit, all I'm doing is walking around. But it was really hot out. I will say that. It was really hot. I got to take a drink of water, guys. Give me one sec. But yeah, walking. Very soon, walking on the boulevard with my friend Lowell. I don't think he's watching. Uh, yeah, they've been extending the seawall in North Point. They've been also on the boulevard adding new brick and widening it a little bit because there's a lot of more people walking on the. But yeah, I noticed they're extending the seawall and trying to fix most of Dumaguete up. Unfortunately, it doesn't have much beach in Dumaguete. That's the problem. There's North Point's the only place where they have a little bit of beach in Dumaguete. Um, well, Andrew, the problem with the troll is they're miserable and they're unhappy. And I feel sorry for them because they have nothing better to do but be. They don't like people that are happy or have a life for themselves. So it's a shame that that's the way they are. And yeah, I just feel sorry for them. You have to feel a little bit sorry for them because they have no life of their own. They're not positive people. So it's kind of a shame. Um, yeah, an overheated bulldog. That was me. I'm the overheated bulldog. I wasn't carrying it, Bruce. That was me. Uh, so there's always something to look forward to. I'm not getting any younger, but I can get thinner and get older. It's better than dying. So I'd rather get thinner now than have a medical problem where I get thinner without choice. Anyway, so. But actually, I check my blood pressure and my sugar. I don't have diabetes anymore that I've been living here because I do walking and I eat better food. I'm not eating much fast food here, so I don't take any pills or shots or anything for diabetes anymore, and it stays in around the 100 to 105 on the glucose monitor scale that they use in the U.S. And then my heart rate is 60. Okay. It's gone anywhere from 57 to 65, but it's typically around 60 resting heart rate. And my blood pressure is down, but I do take blood medicine. Oh, my God. Ron Rooks, $10. Dude, you rock. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. I love the way it comes up in bright colors and tells everybody I made money. We're at 64 likes, guys. Come on. I need to hit 100. 97 concurrent viewers. That's good for me. Usually I only hit a little over 100 with Paul here. Anyway, so I kind of like this channel. It's kind of fun. I get to, because I talk too much, and this way I get to talk to you guys, and you don't get a chance to talk back, so you don't interrupt me. That's bad, but it's true. When you get very sick, and extra weight is a reserve when you can't eat. Now a woman that lasted a long time because she was overweight and it gave her lots of extra months of life. Yeah, well, the problem is, okay, it's not healthy for you. If you want to have food, you buy freeze-dried products or airtight products for food emergencies. It's not best to carry it on your stomach. It's not an emergency food source. It's not the best way to do that, Bruce. Anyway, so I got to get back to my movie, guys. Come on, let's hit to 100. I was watching a really good movie. It was Oh, I wrote it down because I knew I wouldn't remember it. It was called The Peacemaker. Okay, who knows who is the star in The Peacemaker? This is a movie that's a few years old. The Peacemaker was a great movie. It had to do with stolen nuclear missiles out of Russia on a train. I was just in the middle of it, and I go, oh, I got to go up live, so I got to get back to that. Give me some likes. Hit the like button, please. I almost hit 100 viewers concurrent. Wow, that's a first. That's a first for me. So we are on this for, let's see, 7:30, 8:39, hour and a half now, a little over an hour and 40 minutes. Worrying about another Peter Wilson, guys. Oh my God, I had to tell him how to do this. A different Peter Wilson. There seems to be a lot of Peter Wilsons. God, oh help me. Well, we had to get rid of that Peter Wilson. Will the real Peter Wilson please stand up? George Clooney, yeah. George Clooney. He's excellent. Thank you, Bruce. Paul figured that one out too. I bet everybody did. I don't know who Dolph Lundgren is. Maybe that was the German officer, Gene. I don't know. That sounds German to me. But it's a great movie. I gotta get back and finish it. Don't tell me the ending. I know now I said that some troll is gonna tell me the damn ending. I don't want to hear about it. All I know is I was at the part where they had stole the missile and they blew up one nuclear missile to cover up the theft. And now George Clooney and this young girl, I don't know who she is, actress, they were working for the Pentagon, figuring out what to do. Whether it was where they stole missiles, was it a cover-up, who was involved with it, and what they should do. And that's all. That's where I got to. And then it was only about a half hour. It's a 2-hour movie. I think I was only a half hour in. 15 of them are the same guy. Could be. He could have multiple accounts, right, Andrew? Anyway, so we're up to 70. Come on, guys, likes 98. I need two more viewers and 30 more likes. Otherwise, I'm going to talk to you guys all day long. Okay, all your day. So, I really like everything about my life right now. It's really wonderful. You guys got to come out here and enjoy it. I like where I live. I like my friends here. There's a lot of positive people here. And it keeps me busy. And today was a quiet day. It was like a second Sunday, which was nice. I enjoyed that. And you guys got to come out. You got to try it. Yeah, the dog lives, the bad guys die. That's true. Talk away. I am Nicole Kidman. Oh, yeah, that's who she is. Yeah, Nicole Kidman. Thank you, David. Yeah, she was a good actress, too. We all get old, unfortunately. Such are the days of our lives. We all get old. 72 likes. Come on, a few more likes, guys. If I have 102 viewers, okay, I hit the 100. If I have 102 viewers, why don't I have more likes? You guys that are viewing haven't liked. Shame on you. Like. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, but I'm sure most of you have. This time next year, Manny says you should be able to move there. Awesome. Yeah, definitely check out Thailand. Check out Thailand and then come here. I think Thailand's a good place to visit. The problem with Thailand is you can't get long-term visas in Thailand, and they really only want you if you spend a lot of money, 800,000 baht, to buy yourself a long-term visa. They don't speak much English. So two things you got against Thailand: visas and communication. It's a problem with communication in Thailand. And try to learn Thai. It's very difficult. Thai words, there's one word that has different meanings depending on the pitch and the tone. Okay, go. I have been emailing you for the past 2 years. Do you remember? I was not satisfied with how you treated me in the past. I have a lot of great ideas. Oh, God. I don't know what your ideas are. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. I have so many emails, I can't read them all. I'm sorry if you emailed me and I didn't respond, or you have all these ideas. I don't know what they are. It is a good movie, Eagle. Uh, years ago, and also my high school lover boy theory. God, another one, Jim Smith. What is with it tonight, guys? What? How do I attract all of these strange people? I don't know. Read the damn signs there. Yeah, well, no, you can't read any signs there. There's sometimes you go into like a Burger King and it's all in Thai. It's like you got to go by the picture and you point to the picture. I did respond. Oh, God. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Get a DTV visa to stay in Thailand long term, 5 years, with 6 months border runs. You said it's relatively simple, but what's the price, Simon? Last I checked, it was 800,000 baht. That's not cheap, and you had to use somebody to get it. Yeah, I know, Andrew. Right? Oh, God. I am on. Oh, Philip retracted. I can't read it. I can confess everything I am, Peter Wilson. Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. Another one. You had to get rid of him. It's a full moon. Yeah, I haven't looked outside. Maybe that's what it is. And I don't know. Paul says full moon. Yeah, I think so. 91 likes. Mine says 83. 81 likes. Yeah, mine says 83 now. That's so good. We're getting there. Weighing and seeing all these guys send super chats because she smiles and says hello. Oh man, the Filipino girls on YouTube have it made. I mean, all they have to do is dress decently, kind of cute, show a little cleavage and a little leg, and smile and be sweet. And they get all the guys to send them money and stuff. It's not easy when you're an American male, okay? This is not, use a visa agency. Well, yeah, you can use an agency. That costs another 30,000 baht, 40,000 baht. So I don't know, Tim. I don't know what he had meant about being inexpensive, but application fee is 10,000 Thai baht. That's affordable, but that's just the application fee. The Thai Elite Visa is expensive, and that's the one you're referring to. The DTV Visa is relatively new. Oh, okay, I don't know about the DTV Visa. Okay, that's something new. So, yeah, 10,000 Thai baht, but how long does it get you? And it's just the application fee, so there's more than that. So I don't know. Maybe they're making it easier. The reason why they made it difficult is they were having problems with, I think it was either the Koreans or the Chinese. They were leaving a lot of trash. They don't pick up after themselves. In a lot of the, I don't know why, but they were leaving the trash all over, and their lakes, oceans, bays, rivers were getting piles of trash, and they blamed it on a certain country. It was either Korea or it was China. I think it was China, but I'm not sure. And so they couldn't just say, okay, no more Chinese or no more Koreans allowed. So they just made it impossible for a couple of years for anybody to stay there long term. It's always the same truth. 18,000 baht just renewed. Okay, well, thank you, Tom. So I think it's still around 30 baht to the dollar. So anybody who won't do the math, 15,000 baht would be $500. So it's not too expensive. On my way to your location, per Philip, next week, I'm ready for my new adventure. Are your scooters ready for full figular boys? Full-figured boys, huh? Yeah, you can get a bike. You just start with a 125, and you may look silly on it for a week or two, but then switch over to a bigger bike. And Tom says it's a retirement visa. Okay, that's better because Thailand is a really nice place to stay. I did like Thailand. Change it to different things. I'm not even sure why it's still showing this one. It's a Truth University acknowledged single man possession of a good fortune. What are we talking about? Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, Philippines. No, I have no idea what we're talking about here, Stanley. All right, I'm going to change my background one last time. Let me see if I can find one that I like. Hold on just a second, guys, while I play with this. Let's get rid of this. Let's find, what's this one? All right, here's a background. This looks a little different. We'll try this one for a moment. I could always also get rid of me. You guys don't want to see me? You want to see just the background? Let's see. Let's get rid of me. There's the full background without me. And here am I. I could appear and disappear. How do you like that? Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to I just got the green screens up actually yesterday. And I threw a few pictures up there, and you can also do a continuous looped video of any length and have a video up there. So you could have water moving or waves. You could have different scenes. You could put a bunch of scenes together and have scenes change on the back. I haven't gotten into that. I just threw some pictures up and played with it and realized that I cannot wear a green. I had a bluish green, a turquoise shirt on, and all you could see was my head. So I'm kind of new to all this stuff, guys. This is all electronic stuff. This is all new to me. I don't know this. I'm old school. Hell, I didn't even have a laptop 2 months ago. How quickly you're mastered YouTube. Yeah, thank you. Because I had no idea what it was the best yet. I just get rid of me. You guys can just watch here. You don't even have to watch me here. I'm going to disappear for you guys for a little bit. Let's see. Let's just get rid of me for a minute. Goldfinger camera. Fine. I'm out. So now you can watch just the scene behind me. Different scene. Anyway, I had to learn OBS, which is used for streaming. It's a freeware, and that. You set up the sound, the video, and you put it all together. Then I had to, in order to do videos, I had to see. Nobody's talking to you right now. I'm a ghost. 86 likes, guy. Keep it coming. Then I had to use Filmora to edit. So if I have an entry and an outro, intro and outro, I had to add that with music that was allowed by YouTube. I'm going to come back into the picture, and. Because it's starting to bug me not being here. And then I had to learn everything. I had to learn about cameras. I had to learn about microphones. We tried several cameras, different microphones. I didn't even know how to turn on a laptop. I had Nick, my friend, come over, and he had to show me how to. I knew how to type, but I didn't know how to use the pad. I didn't know any of that stuff, man. I had to learn everything. It was crazy. It was a big learning curve. I'm still learning, but it's getting better. Yeah, good-looking Filipinos. I have to go down to the beach and film. They probably think I'm a pervert, though. Girls playing volleyball on the beach, looped over and over. I can almost guarantee you'll gain 1,000 subs overnight. Yeah, that's probably, you're right, But green screens are cool. You're right, Mike. You can do a lot with them. So I'm going to, and Gary's going, hey, I'm at 98. I'm at 9,800. I was up to a little over 100. I just trying to get 100 likes. Anyway, Steve says send him, PM him, and he'll send me some. I got to get some videos that are not, you got to be careful because you have to make sure they're not copyrighted. So you can't copy something that you see on, say, YouTube, or copy something you see on another channel, and or it has to be something you created yourself, pretty much. So because you'll get in trouble. Love the back screen. I have experience in music recording. Okay, thanks, Philip. That's good. I just need to figure out how to get. I'll have to learn how to loop it, but I can ask ChatGPT how to loop it. They're pretty good. We're up to 90 likes. 10 more, guys. But that's not so much of a problem. I just have to get the material. So it would be great to have Filipinos in the background. Paul does that in live. Carolyn would kill me if I had live Filipinos in the background. So maybe take the green screen down, open up the window, and just have girls dancing behind me in the window. That would be great. But Carolyn would kill me. So I got to figure out how to do it, and I have to figure out what I could use. And I don't think there's anything I could use on the internet without copyright problems. So it's basically something that I have to film myself, download onto my laptop, which took me forever to figure that out. It sounds simple, but no, it wasn't. So I had to figure out how to download on my laptop. And then figure out where it went, because you think it would just go to downloads, but it doesn't. And then I have to upload it to, I think I could upload it to OBS. I'm not sure. I think I have to upload it to Filmora. And then Filmora will edit it, and then I could give it to OBS to play it after I re-download it. I don't know. It's complicated. There used to be a show on TV called The Man Show. Their claim to fame was girls jumping on trampolines. Just an idea, yeah. There's no trampolines in the Philippines, though. I've never seen a trampoline in the Philippines. That's in the Philippines. I don't know why they don't have them here in Dumaguete. That's for sure. That would be interesting, though, wouldn't it? I'm gonna have to find some girls that are willing to dance for me that I can film them and loop it. But then you guys are gonna want different girls in different outfits. See, I gotta hire Baby May. Baby May can get me good material for my green screen. That's what I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Baby May to get me good material. She has a way of doing that. Need to do an outro like Miss Pia does. You might be able to pull it off. No. I remember I remember a long time ago. I used to watch Filipina P, and she did one where she was coming out of the pool in slow-mo. And she was taking off her bathing suit, and underneath her bathing suit was another bathing suit, exactly the same. That was one of the best. She also had a doctor scene where she was in the little doctor's outfit. She's very smart. She's very clever, and she uses everything she's got. I'll give her credit. She came up in the world real fast. I was watching her when she had just a couple thousand viewers, and now she's over 400,000. I don't think it's been that long. A couple years. That hasn't been that long. Yeah, you could hire girls, and you could hire girls do anything in Angela City. Yeah, Filipina P is sharp, but she has a lot of people. She has a crew working with her now, and she has she's very good. She was a natural. She really, and she's going to hit 1 million in no time at all. Because once you're at 400,000, it's nothing to get to 6, 8, and then 1 million people. So one of 2 bikini tops. Yeah, I remember that. That was good. It was very good. Yeah, Filipino P is the best. I will agree. The 8,000 USD house she built and donated. I think she donated it to. I thought she built a house for her parents. I could be wrong, but I think she donated it to her parents. She built a house for her parents, and then I think it burnt down or something. Obviously, the 8,000 didn't go very well. But anyway, she's got to be making some big money, guys. Big money. We're at 92 likes. Come on. Big market news here in New York. Market opens soon. Futures are up over 1,000 points in talks of China deal. This will strengthen the dollar too for you guys there. Cool. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago when Filipina P literally was just a newbie with a couple thousand, but she did all the right things, said all the right things, used some of the old terms from back in the day, and she was sweet, she's pretty, good looking. Yeah, she rebuilt it after the fire. That's good. So how much do you think she makes, Gary? How much China deal boosts the buck? How much do you think Filipina P gets a month on YouTube? I bet it's big money. Yeah, she rebuilt the house after it burned and refurnished it better than it was originally. I'm sure she did. I'm going to take she was also built one for her assistant. I'm going to take a guess that she's probably in the neighborhood of $20,000 US a month. She made one for her camera girl. She has that much money, she could just build houses, I guess. She gives houses away. Some people give watches away. Yeah, it makes a lot more money than renting scooters. She's in the U.S. now. Yeah, she's got to be making some big money. 25,000 a month, easy. Especially with 400,000 people, it's incredible. But more power to her. You know, she's a very good person, I'm sure. She's done a lot of things. I remember she did something way back in the day for a little old lady, all by herself, a grandmother. And she brought her some food and some blankets and helped her. You know, some furniture was slipping on. The poor little old lady was older and she went out to the province and helped the lady. So she did a lot of nice things. She's not a bad person. She's a good person. Our American culture really grabbed a lot of viewers. Yeah, well, her grasp was because she has an American. I believe she has an American boyfriend. I don't think it's a husband. Anyway, 94 likes. Waiting for 6 more, guys. 6 more likes. Anyway, so she has a group. She has a crew now. So she's big. I mean, she has a video, a sound, a lighting person. She has a director, producer, someone who does the editing. So when you get that many people, fame is tough. I was famous once, too, in Las Vegas. I used to do commercials, and people saw me as a movie star on commercials, and I used to wear a black hat, and I used to wear a lot of jewelry, and I was a lot thinner, I was a lot better looking, I was younger, but it also created a lot of problems. I had trolls then too, and some of them would give me death threats. Some of them would try breaking my house. So yeah, she's done some good things for her family, which is good. But all Filipinos take care of their family. Giving milk to babies, houses to friends, employees. Yeah, no, she's done a lot of wonderful things. I'm not jealous of her in any way. I think she's a very wonderful person, and she works hard. It's not easy. It's not easy when you get to be that well known, is what I was getting at. It's tough because you have a lot of people that. You have no privacy. It's very difficult. 95 likes. Come on. 96. 4 more. I'm coming up on. I've been on 2 hours, guys. So I'm gonna knock off soon. Come on, 2 more, and I'm gonna knock off 96. 4 more. 4 more likes. Anyway, so Pia's a very wonderful person. She deserves everything she's worked hard for. I just hope she enjoys it, because I know it was very hard on me when I got death threats. People tried. They break into my house, break into my car. I had to have bodyguards. I bet she has to have a bodyguard now. It's really a shame that with fame and fortune comes the people that want to do you harm. They're jealous of you or whatever. So I had. Actually even had FBI contact me once about a guy that was going to try and kill me. So I'm at 100, guys. Okay, it's been a couple hours. I am going to knock off because I'm going to get some coffee. Or that story you're talking about, a lady in the province helped on several cases. Yeah, that little old lady, she was so sweet and patient with her in the province. That was over a year ago, but she's done a lot of things for children. She does a lot of things for the community. So we're still talking about Filipina P. Filipina P deserves everything she's got. She's a wonderful person. All right, guys. Time for me to call it quits. 2 hours is a long time. Have a good night, Tony. Bye, Tom. Bruce, Mike, Gary. Time for me to hit it. Steve White, good night, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll be back I'll be back on Friday night, which will be your morning. And don't forget, Paul comes on Wednesday, my morning, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. Good night. Thumbs up. We're good. I love you all. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I'm at 103 likes and 104 people. I really appreciate this, guys. You guys have really come through for me, and I thank you all very much, and I really appreciate you very much. I really do. You guys have a wonderful day, productive week, and stay healthy. Bye-bye now.